Well, hello, everybody. I'm meteorologist Autumn Lewandowski. We have Josh Nichols over to, I feel like the Brady Bunch. He's over here from inside the studio. And we're going to talk about the upcoming weekend forecast, right? Because, I mean, who isn't looking ahead to the weekend? Hi, Josh. How are you?
Hi, Autumn. Good, good. How are you? It looks really nice over there where you are.
Oh, it's fantastic here in the South Towns. We've got blue skies and then some of the we'll call them cotton ball clouds here, and we're going to talk a little bit about lake shadow as well, but
That's
which
right.
keeps some of the area with a lot of sunshine out there. The almanac for the day today, we've had temperatures getting right back to normal levels. I actually talked about this yesterday, and you may have mentioned it as well. We had a cold front come through, and hey, it's not 90 anymore, but it's still seasonable. But at least there's a breeze, but it didn't get rid of the humidity. So it's a very odd feeling day here in Western New York. But hey, it's 10 degrees cooler than where it was yesterday. The weather headlines going through tonight, tomorrow, and into the upcoming weekend. Stray shower. We've had a few of those, and especially early this morning, we did. Still seasonable as we head into the weekend. Saturday is going to be a hotter day. Also one that will have more sunshine. Barbara says, beautiful day. It is absolutely gorgeous just to hear the breeze and watch the leaves in the background and the trees kind of swaying. It feels fantastic. The problem with the day is that it's still muggy, which doesn't feel also great either. We had some thunderstorms last night, Josh, when we were just on air a little after 11. We had the ESPYs on. And we had some thunderstorms move through. So there were some areas that dealt with not only thunderstorm damage, like trees down, wires down, things like that, but the winds were quite gusty as well. And you know what? We're still dealing with a bit of a drought. I want to bring Josh back in to talk about kind of this part of the story, because we've been putting a dent in what we have, as in dealing with almost an inch and a half of a deficit of rain over the last 2 months, to that kind of being tempered down, but we're still dealing with a drought across Western New York.
That's right on. Yeah, and they updated the Palmer Drought Index this morning, and they kept Metro Buffalo in that zone there that you see. It looks sort of like a oblong, light brownish area that goes from northern Erie County into Genesee County, parts of Wyoming County, and Livingston County as well. And that's because they're not factoring in some of the recent rains, but it's more of a representation of what took place last week. And they look at other things besides precipitation. Bottom line, we are still considered to be in moderate drought here in Metro Buffalo, northern Erie County, and also many areas off to the east. Still running a precipitation deficit. We certainly put a dent in that rainfall deficit in some spots yesterday. But, you know, honestly, we need one of those good old-fashioned region-wide hilltop to lakeshore soaking rains, and probably not in the cards anytime soon. It's kind of like Dickens' Tale of Two Cities. You've got the haves and you've got the have-nots. We've got a lot of have-nots here with respect to rainfall going forward. That's the graphic portraying projected rainfall out through basically midday Saturday. And basically all you're looking at there are showers to the edge of the lake breeze boundaries that set up over the western southern tier and maybe into some of the north towns. And most of us will probably not see anything much at all. And of course, that's great news. There's so much going on with respect to what's going on. Not great news for agriculture and gardening and landscaping, but great news for Canal Fest of the Tonawandas and so much more that's taking place. I know there are a number of county fairs taking place as well. And for those heading to the Canal Fest, as you were at Autumn yesterday, we've got temperatures into the 70s here into this evening. A clear sky, little bit on the breezy side for sure. In fact, we've been looking at some wind gusts in Buffalo at midday, close to 40 miles per hour. And that's that stiff breeze out of the southwest. As far as moisture goes, we were talking about the rainfall deficit. There's no deficit with respect to atmospheric moisture right now.
Right.
I know that you're experiencing that firsthand as we speak. Um, but that breeze certainly helps get out of the sun, and you're in better shape. But the dew point temperatures are still in that muggy to humid category at least through the end of the weekend. Then another front will come through, and note how we go down, down, down in that graph back into the comfortable zone. That'll be that's not air that you can wear. That's much better. But Autumn, look at those skies, much like what you have out where you are right now. Look at those skies over downtown Buffalo.
Yeah, looking great. The wind has been fantastic. I was in Cheektowaga, so it was quite gusty. That's near the airport, and I was taking Natalia out of the seat, so I'm kind of around the car a little bit longer than someone that doesn't have to deal with getting a kid out of their car seats. And the car, I mean, I some of the gusts were kind of like moving the car, and I thought this is a gusty day. I mean, feels fantastic because of the humidity that's out there, and the seasonable temperatures are, it's what we expect for this time of year. But we're always in the Goldilocks situation. I say here in Western New York, we don't like it too hot, we don't like it too cold, we don't like it too muggy, we don't want it too dry. And this is one of those days that is just a little too muggy, I feel anyway. But at least it's a nice breeze. That southwest wind, 25 miles an hour, that will keep downtown feeling a whole lot, or a little bit cooler, I should say. Areas outside of downtown are well into the 80s too. So looking at the numbers from the north towns, mid 80s, Cambria, Niagara Falls, Lockport, our north towns, and into the Tonawondas are all kind of in that category. And then the 70s come into play a little bit closer to the lakeshore. And then also along the 219, you go to Machias and Franklinville, Ellicottville, all are in the mid 70s. But again, that humidity is going to be with us through the weekend. So we just have to, tough it out, deal with it going into the next couple of days. And really, we're only talking about a few spotty areas of showers. I was looking at some of the models that are now up for the afternoon kind of updates. And they're pretty dry, but then there's also just a chance to see a shower out there. And much of our day has been that way here in Western New York. There are some spotty showers earlier in the day. There's still a few into northern Pennsylvania, Potter County, just exiting Allegheny County. And then as we were talking about that lake breeze, and I want to bring Josh back in here because he said, hey, I'm geeking out while at work. And I said, well, you know what? That doesn't feel like work when you're just
No.
so excited to talk about things that we see, that we get to tell other people what they're looking at.
You're 100% spot on, Autumn. Yeah, it's interesting. We've both been doing this a while. I've been living in the area, Rochester, 22 years. Been working in Buffalo for a little while as well, and it's so cool observing the influence of both Lake Ontario and Erie on our weather. I like to call it zip code weather. It's all by zip
Right.
code as to how things work out, and it's all the localized effects. So what you're seeing here is a stripe of clear sky. That's that very dark area around Lake Erie. That's the stable air off the water pushing inland, creating a belt of clear sky. And as that air pushes inland, it causes lift in the atmosphere, and then you get the cumulus clouds to form over land. But that stripe of clear sky, we call that the lake shadow. And there used to be an old radio program that was going way back. I also geek out over old program, television, radio, and it was called The Shadow. And they would say, the shadow knows. Well, the shadow knows how clear sky works in Western New York, and you get that nice belt of clear sky when that stable air pushes in. It's also called the oasis effect, because kind of like you really are in an oasis when all around you, you've got that clear sky. So yes, it's breezy. Yes, it's muggy, but right along the lakeshore from downtown Buffalo to Dunkirk and Erie, boy, we are sitting pretty with that clear sky.
Oh, yeah, it feels absolutely wonderful. Amy says, hey, I love this weather. Winter will be here before you know it. I know it because, there's just so many things that go on during the summer months. And, it's one county after another. We deal with the county fairs. There's so many events that happen every single weekend. And then before you know it, it's the Erie County Fair. It's the middle of August. And then all of a sudden it's sweatshirt weather and you get excited for that, but then you don't want winter to be here. So it just snowballs, for a lack of a better term. We get to winter pretty quickly, but that is not going to be the case going into the next couple of days. But we do have to look at the potential for some shower activity as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about that lake shadow. Great for sunshine on the lake, but again, inland, if you live away from the shadow and you're on one of those lake breeze boundaries, you pop a shower here and there. And our high resolution modeling pointing that out. North towns northeast of Buffalo, also maybe even a stray one out down towards the New York-Pennsylvania border. That could be replicated tomorrow. I like to say sometimes wash, rinse, repeat. And we could be one of those
Right.
scenarios for tomorrow. You can see one of those stray showers there right along the NYPA border between Erie and Bradford for tomorrow afternoon. In fact, this particular modeling tends to be a little bit more aggressive with that. But again, they would be passing showers. If you can be flexible with your plans, you don't have to cancel them. It's just one of those 10, 15-minute deals, and then you're in pretty good shape. So, basically patchy clouds and starlight for the night tonight. We drop into the mid-60s, projecting a high of 84 tomorrow. There's that isolated shower. And Cheryl says, when will it cool down? Well, maybe we should check out the super 7-day forecast, Autumn.
Yeah, we're going to cool down. It's just going to take us past the weekend in order to get to that point. This happens on Monday. Back just a few slides ago, we were talking about that muggy meter, and it stayed high through the weekend and then dropped off on Monday. And that's with that frontal system finally from Sunday to Monday. Doesn't drop the temperatures too much, but the humidity levels really will end up going down for the first couple of days of next week as well. And just to backtrack to the weekend, Saturday is looking great. Sunny, very hot. We'll have temperatures mid to upper 80s, and then Sunday, there will be a lot of dry time in there, and then a better threat for a little bit more activity a little bit later in the day as well. So not a washout for a Sunday either, but that's one that you have to pay more attention to as we head into the weekend.
Yeah, Saturday the sunnier of the 2 days, like you said, Autumn, and then Sunday, later into the evening. I mean, if you can make your plans to be out earlier in the day on Sunday versus later, probably be better off.
Yeah, and then we have the Garth Brooks concert on Saturday at the stadium. I mean, tens of thousands of people will be out, and I don't think you can scrap together a better day other than it being a little bit on the hot side, but you'd rather have that than a downpour of rain the entire time. So, just drink a lot of fluids. We're talking about some H2O, some electrolytes, or maybe, scatter it in, going into our Saturday night, but not a bad looking weekend.
Not a bad one at all. And, in the meantime, we take what we can get while we can get it, enjoy some of this sun despite some of the humidity, dress for summer, and drink a little extra water. And for those who really don't like the humidity, we only got, there it is, right? We only got a few more days to go before we get to the comfy stuff early next week.
Yeah, so, that's kind of the look into the upcoming weekend. Hang on to your hats over the next several hours before the winds begin to die down. Enjoy the heat for the weekend, as Josh just mentioned, and we'll kind of get things together here, and we'll join you at 5, 6, 7, 11. Take care, everybody.
So long.